Welcome to Chicks Talking Pics, a bi-weekly image discussion with two nature nuts. We are Jenny Wolf and Sandy Zelasco, and I am coming to you from San Diego. I live in North County, San Diego. And Jenny, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm also coming to you from San Diego. Just gotten back from being on the road most of the summer, which you were too, I believe.
Yeah, I just got back from Wyoming yesterday. And Jenny, you were up in Idaho, I think, weren't you?
Yep.
Ballooning again?
Yep, ballooning. It was a busy season. Lots of people out wanting to go for balloon flights.
Good to see people out. Yeah, I ran the Wind River Photographers Retreat up in Dubois, Wyoming, which turned out to be just wonderful. First year we've done it. So that was quite an experience, great food, great photography, good people on the workshop. It was just wonderful.
Great.
Yeah. All right, let's get to what's coming up here. We want to take a look at some images. Jenny and I are going to use our expertise on discussing images that you've sent in. So let's go to the first. This is from Susan. And Jenny, you want to go first on this?
Susan, oh, there it is. Took a little while to show up. Sure. So Susan sent in a number of images that are all really very good this time. Obviously, this is a snow leopard, and from her naming, I wasn't sure. I would assume this is not in the wild. I don't know if it's in a zoo or something like that. If it is in the wild, that's quite a find that she was able to get this close. Let's see. A couple of the things that I do like about it is there's a really lovely catch light in the eyes. And obviously it's a very, the image draws you in because the eyes, it's the animal staring right at you. Whether it's seeing her and responding to her, I would guess. And I don't know, what have you got to add, Sandy? I don't have a lot to say other than it's a really great looking image.
Well, yeah, I like several things about it. The catch light is one. I love those eyes. I like the mouth open, whether it's, hopefully it's not hot in a zoo and it's actually in the wild, but I don't know that for sure either. I like the curl of the tail. I don't mind that the subject's in the middle because I think it is a great subject, and kudos for getting there and getting that image, Susan. I would like to see a little vignette around the whole image to just direct your eye into the snow leopard. It's the widest part of the scene. You want to make sure that's what the people are looking at. Darken down those bottom corners a little bit. And I think that'll make it a little more powerful. I do see quite a bit of noise, and I think it's been heavily cropped, but I don't know that for sure either. So let's take a look at the settings. Let's discuss the settings. So ISO 12,800, that explains the noise. Yeah. Anytime your ISO is up that high, you better make sure your camera can handle it. But we do know that if this was taken in the wild, I don't doubt that the ISO was up to 12,800 on this. A very, very hard image to capture. But at a zoo or a wildlife park or something, that I don't know that you needed it that high, but I wasn't there. So I wonder why you were at F14.
That's what I was going to ask, because that would have brought the ISO down, and you don't really need that much depth opening it up would have put a little more blur on that background.
Yeah, probably a little more anyway. That cat is close to the background, so I'm not sure how much that would have done, but I think you could have got away with a 5.6 or even open wider, your aperture wider.
Yeah, that
So,
definitely would have helped with the ISO.
yeah, I think that would have helped with the noise. But other than that, I think it's a great image. Great job, Susan.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at Susan's next image. I happened to be with Susan when she took this image. Unless she went back without me. This was on my Badlands workshop last June, and we were off the side of the road, not very far, keeping a low profile and letting this ewe and lamb do their thing. I think this is a really cute image with the two in it. Yeah, so I think it's lovely, and it doesn't bother me again that it's in the middle or cropped kind of in the middle. Again, I would have used a vignette to darken down the dirt and maybe some of the background corners to direct your eye to your subject again. I don't mean overkill. I don't mean unless you really got a style with darkening your photos. I think just a slight vignette will help this a little bit. But I like the semi-interaction between the two. I would have liked to have seen a little catch light in the eyes of one of them, or maybe wait till that baby lifted its head up. Jenny, how about you?
Yeah, you just stole the two things I was going to say, as if there was a moment, like maybe just in another split second, the baby lifted his head and looked up a little bit. I do like that the foot's off the ground, so you see a little activity there. But yeah, lacking catch light. That I think a little bit of catch light would have helped. There's not a lot you can do about what they're sitting on. It's a little distracting with all the texture there. But like you said, I think if you darken it down a little, it might be less of a draw to the viewer's eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise it's a very cute moment. But yeah, I think if we could see a little more of the baby's face, you would have just that much more connection between the viewer and the subject.
Yeah, and it would have only taken a second to have that ewe turn her head ever so slightly, and the light would have been right in her eye. We would have had that catch light in the ewe's eye. Mm-hmm. So maybe go back through your images, Susan, and see if you have one like we're talking about. Maybe the ewe turned a little bit, or the baby's head a little bit higher. And don't hesitate, I think, to take out some of that distracting foreground. You could crop this up a little bit, mm-hmm. or maybe take out some of those sticks and weeds in there to make it less cluttered. So. Yeah. I mean, I'm nitpicking because this is a great image. Let's look at your settings, though. Let's see what her settings were. This is more like it. This is ISO 500. I think we had plenty of sun. That's comfortable. You probably could have gone down a little bit. But if you're preparing for action, maybe that baby was going to run, ISO 500 is a good choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the background in this is really nice. The blurry background, there's no distractions there.
Yes, I think so too. I like the background. Yeah. So good. I think settings are good on that. All right, let's go to the next image. Susan has submitted a little prairie dog.
Yeah, and this guy's stinking cute.
Yeah.
I think she did a great job with the background and the focal plane, where he's sitting in the focal plane. You have the blurriness in front and behind, so that reduces the distractions. And I really love the little bit of dirt on his nose there, kind of gives him a little more character. And great catch light. He's looking right at the camera. There's lots of detail in the face. Yeah, and again, like you said on the other ones, a little vignette would help.
Mhm.
You know, bring bring the viewer a little bit more into the center, although those eyes kind of bring you in anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, I love all the little whiskers that are just protruding everywhere.
Yeah.
They're just really, really cute. Um, and he's off center that little bit. You see just a hint of his tail that you know it's a black-tailed prairie dog. So there's different species of prairie dogs. So that's a good hint for somebody looking at this image. And that, yeah, the dirt on the nose is so cute. So very good, very good. Yeah, a vignette would help this one again. And nicely done.
Yep. Yep. Very nicely
All right,
done.
let's see Susan's settings on this one. I think that helps our viewers.
Yeah.
So ISO 1250. Yeah, that might be a little high. You could probably have gotten away with a maybe 140, something like that ISO. Depth of field. I can understand why she probably is at using aperture of f7.1 is because there might have been another one popping his head up. So maybe a little more depth of field she would have been prepared for a second prairie dog that might have popped out of the burrow. So something to think about when you're shooting wildlife like that. Are you going to have a second subject? You never know. And with these guys, it was very possible. Yeah, throw a little vignette on that, Susan, and that'll help it even more.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Susan, for your images. If you want to participate in Chicks Talking Pics, where we just do discussions just like you've seen, just send your images to chickstalkingpics@gmail.com. Make sure they're JPEG format and 1920 pixels on the longest side. If you could do that, we'd appreciate it. And somebody else's images, just your own, and we'll give you a little bit of feedback on that.
Yep.
All
And
right,
if
Jenny.
you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you know when we have a new one of these. We've been posting them every 2 weeks, but if you hit that subscribe button and the all right next to the bell, you'll get a notification when a new episode comes out.
Yeah, and Jenny, I wanted to mention that our discussion about these images, they're judges are subjective, and we really we all come from a different place. So whether you liked our notes or not, we do the best we can. We've done this together for quite a long time. So thank you for joining us today, Jenny.
Yep. Guess that's all we have to say. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining us today. Bye-bye now.
Bye.